G'day, it's Rob here again. Well, one thing that always bugs the hell out of me is when you're trying to take an inside measurement of a bush. You know, you've got a bush or a bearing, ball race. You want to make up a shaft to go into that. And when you try and do inside measurements on stuff with your trusty calipers like this, the cheap shit ones, or this, the expensive ones, you always have trouble getting a good measurement. It's nearly always undersized. And I'll show you basically how these two calipers perform. So let's try it with the cheap shit ones. These are actually top end cheap shit. I paid, I think, $20 or $25 for these. These have actually got a low battery indicator. A lot of these read low because as the battery runs low, so the measurement decreases. This is ultra deluxe model, even though it looks the same, and it's got low battery warning and it's supposed to stop all that, but does it really? Well, let's measure this bush and see what we get. Once again, you've got to get it. 19.24 millimeter. All right. Now we go for my classy eye gauging Origin cows. Quite expensive, very good though. 19.24, see what these come up with. $19.30. I'd pretty much guarantee that's going to be closer to what it is. These cheap ones always read low, but is it really 19.30? Okay, now we'll use something that I bought recently with my own hard-earned cash. A cheap internal micrometer. How cheap? $30 Australian cheap. I mean, that is pretty cheap for an internal micrometer. Moore and Wright make one almost identical to this, probably made in China as well, for a lot more money. And this is basically a Mitsu Toyo pattern originally, I think. But there it is, 30 bucks, delivered from China. It's not a Banggood freebie. As I said, I shelled out my own hard dosh. I mean, that's, you know, over half a slab of beer. Money gone down the drain. Well, how's it gone down the drain? So how good is this thing? Well, let's come in close and look at it. Well, I hunted around on the internet to see who had the cheapest one, because they all look the same. Everybody sells these. They're all over the place. Except Banggood, they don't sell this one. They had it, but they don't stock it anymore for whatever reason. So I looked around, got the cheapest one I could get, you know. 30 bucks, and it came out of AliExpress. That was delivered. I've got to say, actually, it's good. It's pretty good for the money. I mean, it's not a Mitsu Toyo by any stretch. The finish is not Mitsu Toyo standard. I mean, you can see it's got a blemish there. They didn't spray the coating on there very well. The actual feel of it is pretty good. It's pretty good. The ratchet stop is a bit, has more friction than I'm used to. It's quite a heavy action. The thread is, yeah, quite good. There's no noticeable slop in there. The markings are good. And as a micrometer, it's quite acceptable. Except the finish isn't fantastic, you know. So is it accurate? Is it accurate? Well, let's try measuring our little block and see what we came up with. So the magic figure is 19.30 millimeter. I think that will be pretty close to what it actually really is. The eye gauging is actually pretty damn good on this sort of stuff. So let's just try it out, this baby. and see if it works. You have to get used to turning this in the right direction. Now, as I said, for 30 bucks you can't expect miracles, but maybe there is a miracle here. Maybe this is goodliness from who knows where. I've got the bush marked, so I'm measuring in the same point every time. Just rock it around, get it right. Lock it with the little locking nut bolt here. Now we'll read it. Rob will have to go for the magnifying glass here because the old eyesight's not what it used to be. Wow, look at that. 19.30, spot on the money. Spot on the money. So that's pretty damn good. I mean, this thing, I have played around with this, and it is actually very accurate. The repeatability is also pretty damn good. So let's go for something smaller. Okay, let's go for the 5mm test piece that came with the internal micrometer. Oh, look at that, see these damn things, these cheap ones, they go off the 0 easy. Rough as guts, these things are really. Try and get some slop out of it. I can never get these. Man, it's jumping all over the place. Come on, you mother, get on 0. There you go. Okay, 5mm. Let's see what happens. .90. .91. You can see how they tilt the thing on a bit of an angle. That's the blades do that, the way that they align. 4.91. Okay, let's try the eye gauging. As you can see, it holds at 0, way better. Whoa, look at that. 5.0. Spot on. How good is the little eye gauging, eh? The thing with these two is you're going to get variance by the amount of pressure you put on the thumb wheel. It's not like a ratchet stop where you've got a repeatable amount of torque that you're applying to the measurement. So you go 499, give it a bit of pressure, you go 5. 5 is the correct figure, and that's just the variation between these things. Okay, let's try the test piece on the micrometer. We know it's going to be right though, because I calibrated this. There it is, spot on the money. Repeatability, pretty good. Spot on the money, so it's good. As I said, when I got this out the box, it was calibrated out to hell, and you can adjust these like any micrometer the same way with the little barrel on the actual barrel itself. Drag it around either way with the little wrench, or you can actually adjust it on the thimble by undoing this little ratchet stop, crank that back, get some free play, and then you pull the thimble outwards and move it whichever way you want to correct the issue. Lock it up and then do your final adjustment on the barrel scale itself. So there you go, 30 bucks. I think it's quite good. I think it's quite handy. As I pointed out, the eye gauging is great little caliper, very accurate. But the micrometer, you feel a bit more confident with a micrometer because you haven't got any battery issues, and yeah, time will tell how it performs it for $30. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. As I said, it's not Mitutoyo standard, but overall it feels and works quite nicely. Alright, well that's just a quick and dirty look at my latest gadget, and yeah, not many people seem to have internal micrometers, and you don't see them advertised around or people flashing them around much on YouTube, but something you might want to consider. Alright, that's it from me. I'll see you next time. Cheers.